Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Let me get this all set up here. Get the chat pulled up. All right. Happy Sunday. Welcome. Please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. I know that I am running behind. That seems to be um, the usual for me now. But happy Halloween. So glad you were able to join. I am on a little bit of a mission tonight. So it's Halloween, and I have double checked to make sure that all porch lights are out, right? I do not need anybody coming to this door that's going to prompt me to get up 999 times tonight. But I at least wanted to come on and spend a little bit of time talking about um, nylon, because I know for some people nylon can be scary. It can be unfamiliar. You not know what to expect, not know what to look for. And earlier today, I was thinking about brands that I have purchased nylon from and decided, one, I wanted to do a comparison live on camera. I didn't bother to pull anything out to compare. I just pulled out different bags. But I also realized that I don't think I own anything nylon from Coach. Not even an accessory that I can think of. Mm, I do, but I don't know where it is. Remember, I bought the trio of pouches. It was like a pink, a gray, pink, gray, a white, maybe it was black. I just thought about that, but I don't know where it is. So I won't be comparing against Coach nylon tonight because I just thought about that. But we are going to look at Dooney and Burke. We are going to look at Henri Bendel, and we are going to look at Tory Burch. And the reason is because I'm trying to see if my love for Dooney's nylon, which stretches over a couple of decades now, if my love for Dooney's nylon can be matched by that of Tory Burch. And the reason is because Dooney has what I consider to be old school nylon, which is the smooth, shiny, very vibrant nylon that you've seen on my channel before. And then they have this newer nylon that almost has characteristics of a rough cabriolet. So it's a little bit more durable, a little bit more textured, but to me, it just doesn't take color as well as the original nylon. So let's start with this Dooney and Burke bag. Pick this one up at the sale, and it is a vibrant pattern. Like, there is no doubt in your mind that this is a tropical print, and there's no question about the colors that are in this bag. But it is very smooth. Let me see if I can get it close enough so that you can see. It's very, very smooth. And what I don't know is if you're going to be able to see the sheen on this one. But if you think about my nylon navy extra large Courtney, on camera when I've shown that bag before, you can actually see the sheen, the luster on Dooney's original or OG nylon. Then, it's lightweight, soap and water wipe off, very clean, very easy. It takes a lot to damage these bags. They are all weather bags. So regardless of whether it is a summertime downpour or whether there are snow flakes falling from the sky during the winter, nylon performs in all of those weather conditions. But Dooney also has another nylon, and this is also a bag that was picked up at the Dooney tent sale. My tribe sister Kimberly Mines actually has the red version of this bag, and I ended up with the blue one with the DB75 print on it. This nylon does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but it also has some texture to it. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see like the little cross hatching. So the difference between like the nylons, so you have the original, which I just showed you, which is very smooth, very clean. I consider it to be classic. Then you have this stiffer nylon that almost has characteristics like Saffiano, right? The little cross hatching in it. This also has that kind of webbed texture to it. And then yet a third version would be the newer nylon that has more characteristics of cabriolet. This one is also lightweight, but it's not as lightweight as the original. This one does have some more weight to it, and it's not because of the hardware on the bag, because this one has hardware, leather, feet, but the nylon in itself is just, it's thicker, it's hardier than the original. Still not going to stand up on its own, but there is a difference between this nylon and this nylon. All right, so let's take a look at Henri Bendel's nylon, which I fell in love with because you can just see the sheen right under the lights. Like it immediately catches the light, which is exactly what the, like for example, the extra large Courtney in nylon in navy I have. It picks up the light just like this. So I love the look of this. I can't tell you how it wears because you see it's still in all the packaging, so I haven't carried it yet, but I love this nylon. It has the same look, the same feel, the same texture, the same lightweight that the original Dooney nylon had. It does feel a little bit thinner. It feels thinner, but that could also be because the linings are different in these bags. So that weight difference could have a lot to do with this feeling really lightweight, this feeling heavier because it's got a different lining and it's also collared in leather, but it's also a thicker, heavier nylon. But this one has the same or similar nylon. I don't know that this one is Italian. This one is. But it feels like it may not be as durable, dare I say. it may not be as durable as Dooney's Italian nylon. It has the potential to be because it's lightweight, it has the characteristics, but I'm just not sure, having not carried it yet, if it will stand up to the wear of Dooney's nylon. Now, I have several Dooney and Burke nylon bags that I have had for years that have been go-to bags, that have been everyday bags, that have been throw around bags, that have been travel on the go bags. I have also gifted nylon bags specifically to one of my little cousins and to my sister. And I think the very first bag that I gifted my sister was a nylon Olivia satchel in the color is either tan or khaki, and she wore that bag out like it was her everyday bag. And aside from it probably needed a good, soapy bath and a good air dry, you still could not tell that that nylon was not brand new. Like, it needed to be cleaned, and I've offered to clean it for her, and I'm probably going to do that during the Christmas holiday so that she can move back in it, because she said she didn't want to mess it up, so she trusts me to clean it for her. But other than, like the leather did darken just a little bit, which is understandable from the straps. You've got oils, lotions, all of that stuff from your hands. Just it being a high contact surface, that makes sense. But the nylon in itself showed like no wear on the corners, on the bottom, no tears, nothing that probably soap and water would not get it back into pristine condition. And that may be YouTube worthy over the holidays, to sit down and film like the before, the during, and after cleaning of that bag. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure she will not object, especially if it gets her back in that bag, because she loved it. All right. So last week, and then a couple weeks before that, with the Tory Burch private sale part 1, part 2, I shared with you the Ella tote, and one of those, or both, no, one was nylon. And I really liked the look of it, but I started thinking, as I was trying to figure out what I was going to talk about today, that I need to compare Tory Burch's nylon to Dooney's nylon, and it would be nice to see how it also compares to another brand. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We are going to inspect Ella's nylon and see if it measures up to what I have grown to love from Dooney and Burke. So I will tell you right out the gate, straps aside, this nylon feels light like Dooney's nylon. You can even see, like, okay, it wants to, I got it stuffed, and it wants to contour to the stuff. And this one was folded in the box right coming out of the packaging, and it wants to contour to that as well. This one has not, but this is a bounce back bag. This one, it does not matter. This is one of those bags that, like, you could fold it and pack it down into your carry-on or your luggage, and then have a whole nother bag when you get to your destination, and it would just pop up with, just pop it out and no issues. But let's see here. It could be the color, but I'm thinking that the Tory Burch one has a little bit more of a sheen under the lights compared to the Henri Bendel. Let me just switch sides and see if that could be a little bit of the color. But I do feel like this one has a little bit more. Let's see here. No, actually, they are about the same. So on camera, because of the lights, it is picking up a little bit more of a sheen, I think, on video than it is in person, because as I have these side by side, I just knocked my water bottle over, they appear to be reflecting about the same amount of light. So that's actually a win for me for the Henri Bendel, because I kind of like the sheen, and I guess it's also a win for Tory because I like the sheen. Well, Henri Bendel is only available now in the secondary market, so let's see how it compares to Dooney. Let's see. What do y'all think? Happy Sunday, Samaraya, Flyboo, Diva, Lisa J's World, Rosalind. Happy Sunday, welcome ladies. Bad Crazy, Miss Angie. Hello, Carla. Happy Sunday. Hey, Lucinda. Hi, CF. Happy Sunday, ladies. Welcome to the live chat. Please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Now I'm going to switch sides because, again, it looks like this one has a little bit more sheen, but it also has a warming light that's also closest to it. So let me switch spots, and let's see if, yeah, let's see here. It's pretty darn close. I can't tell enough of a difference between Tory, Dooney, and quite honestly, Henri Bendel to say that it's a difference. Tory Burch's Nylon does have a little bit more slip to it. Like, it's a little bit more soft in finish and soft in texture. Dooney's is smooth and vibrant, but I can also, now that I have the Tory Burch one here, when I run my fingers across this one, I can actually feel a little bit of texture on here that I cannot feel in the Tory Burch one. This now, if I had to rate smoothness, let me think. On my fingers. Okay. If I had to rank them in order of smoothness, like from the nylon to finish, then Tory Burch is going to be first. Henri Bendel is going to be second. And Dooney would be third. And Dooney's all other options other than the original would fall in line after this ordering. So this would be light, smooth, no texture. Light, smooth, but I'm still questioning the durability of this. It does feel thinner. Dooney being tried and true. And I know that this will take a beating. But the lining isn't as heavy in this one as it is in this one. So this one is a really light, soft twill. Almost like this is light, similar to the lining that Dooney did, was it last year? The white with like the almost like the pinstripes in it. You know, that was a little bit thinner. It was in the Wayfair collection. The lining on this is kind of thin like that. Can't see it through the bags because it's a thicker nylon than the Wayfair collection. But as far as lightweight with the lining, that's what I'm getting here. And this one is hardier nylon, but also has the thicker, more textured red traditional twill lining that we all know is quite thick and has more weight to it. So, all of that, I guess, to say, I'm still not a fan of Dooney's heavier, textured revamps of their nylon. I have this one, but I don't, for example, have the double pocket satchel in anything other than the original nylon. I've got the red one. You've seen the green one on Says What's channel. You've seen the messenger bag on both my channel. You've seen it on DJ King's. You've seen the nylon, I believe, also on Phenomenal Personalities channel. Who else has the original nylon? I'm drawing a blank. But I also have a reveal, and it's in the nylon family from Dooney and Burke. But I thought that maybe the color would actually help me show a little bit more of the texture and the difference between the nylons. So this is the Layla Tote in Cabriolet, which is considered to be, well, let me rephrase it. It's a nylon. It's thicker, more textured, closer to Cabriolet. And it is in the color Cranberry. Now, you've seen the you've seen the navy version of this bag on Mono's Beauty's channel. But I'm hoping that you can see under the lights now how this nylon has a more matte finish. Like, it's not catching the lights. It's kind of matte and flat. There is a difference. This one is definitely thicker. It's more structured. It's a rougher finish, but it is still different from this. It's kind of a go-between. And I am not a fan of this material. This thicker, hardier, matte nylon, but I am a fan of Layla. And until I can get the pebbled grain Layla in bone with the Sierra trim, I decided that I would go with a nylon version. But can you see how matte and flat that is? It is a pretty color. And it's structured, which is partly because it, of course, has a base, right? It's got the piping. It's shirred up with the Sierra leather. It's got, leather detailing that's going to help hold this nylon up in shape. It's also a more durable, a stiffer version of the nylon. But even if this same silhouette was done in this nylon, the original, it still wouldn't have the structure. It would also not have the weight. This is really, really lightweight. So Layla, no feet under the bottom. I think that's a miss, but Dooney is kind of all over the place on whether or not they put feet on nylon bags. So this one doesn't have it, and clearly, in my opinion, it should. This one does have them. Can't even say that, oh, well, one is a satchel or one is a shoulder bag, and therefore, because they're both really hand carry or over the shoulder bag. So there's no rhyme or reason to why they put feet on some and not on others. And keep in mind, this is a sample bag that actually has feet on it. This one has been selling for years and does not have feet on it. I do believe that the pebble grain version of it does have feet, but if they had put feet on here to help protect the bottom, it would have helped to protect the piping around the edges, and this bag would have just gotten a life extension, because just adding those feet really change the wear that this bag can be susceptible to. It has the Dooney patch, leather patch there on the front. It is a snap closure. It also has side snaps. So if for some reason you needed more space or wanted to kind of change up the look or the profile of this bag, you could simply unsnap. Did you hear that hardware? Listen to it again. That's some good hardware. You could actually pop the sides out, and then it becomes a little bit more on the silhouette of a Charleston or a Leisure, but it doesn't have the zipper. It has the snap in the top instead. So again, let me pop the sides out so you can kind of see. If you needed to throw a laptop in here, then it would work for that. Your full-size tablet, it would work for that. But then when you got home and dropped off your stuff and maybe needed to run back to, I don't know, a grocery store or to Sam's or to Costco, and you don't need that extra space for your tablet or your laptop, you could cinch in, snap the sides, and you would still be able to get like a full-size tablet in here. Your iPad mini would fit fine in here. You just wouldn't be able to get your full-size laptop in here with it cinched in. It does have those dreaded rolled handles that attach, that You know, once the leather is broken, then these will not stand up straight. They're going to flop and have a mind of their own. So that can add a little bit to the carry and the wear and the stress of using a bag like this, because it's, to me, nylon is, you know, I go hard when I'm carrying a nylon bag. The last thing I'm thinking about is where I'm sitting it and what the weather is doing outside, because this will endure from experience. Let me get this out so you can take a look at the interior. So this bag has the SDS, the standard Dooney setup, your nylon key keeper. You've got your double slip pockets on the front wall, and then on the back wall you have slip and zip. Everything is collared in that same Sierra leather, so if you're sitting on the front seat of the car and you need to reach in and grab, I don't know, your card case that's in a pocket, or your hand lotion that's maybe in the zipper, you can very easily find where the leather is in the bag and gain access. Where in, let me take a look inside the Tory bag. I don't think that the pockets or anything in here are lined. They are not. Well, wait. I may be lying. Hold on. If there's clutter, I've got stuff. All right, let's see here. Snaps on the side. Let's unsnap those for a second. So, no, there is, so Tory has leather handles, but that pocket could be problematic to find on the front, you know, if you're trying to really find your way into that. Whereas once you hit that with Dooney, you'll actually feel, because that leather collar is going to guide your hand to where it needs to be. And then it is, I want to say that this pocket is collared a little bit. It looks like it's the same as the strap. Or is it just the edge of the nylon that's like quadrupled over a couple of times? Let me look at this. Okay. The nylon is rolled over. Let's see how they put that together. Yep. Okay. So the nylon in Tory is rolled, but then it also has a little piece of leather, same as the strap, that they have stitched over the edge. I just don't understand why they did it for one and then didn't collar the zipper pocket as well. That's odd. But it's those kinds of details that make this setup so amazing, because everything is finished. And you don't realize how much easier it makes finding things in your bag, particularly when you can't put both eyes on the interior until you live in a bag that doesn't have it, right? It's kind of like having a bag that doesn't have a key keeper, and you're accustomed to maybe attaching your card case or your keys or something else in there, and all of a sudden you don't have it. Or it's the bag that you switch to that typically has a place for you to slide your phone, and then the new bag that you're carrying doesn't have a pocket either on the outside for you to put your phone in, or the interior setup doesn't allow a dedicated place for you to put your phone because they're all too small. It's those kinds of details that for me will cause me to not reach for a bag again, because the carry was awkward. It was too heavy. It didn't have the right setup. There wasn't a designated place for me to put my phone or my keys or my card case or or, you know, it didn't have a pocket big enough for me to slide, I don't know, my chapstick, or it didn't have a good setup for me to throw mask or put hand sanitizer. Those are the things that if it doesn't work, if you're anything like me, you will find yourself being miserable in a bag and probably moving out of it a lot quicker than maybe you anticipated. But because the carry isn't working for the way that you normally use your bags, it's easier to just move out of that bag into another one than to continue to be aggravated by the fact that the setup or the style or the silhouette or the organization in a bag isn't working for you. So it's fall, and this I think is a great color. Not spot on to what I'm wearing, but close enough. I'm a berry tone girl in the fall, winter. So I definitely will be spending some time in Layla. I'm not sure if I am going to have the same experience that Mo had. I've had a few conversations with her about her carry and the lessons that she's learned from carrying Layla. And one of those is that you don't have to carry the entire kitchen sink every time you carry a bag or move into a bag. And she makes a lot of sense. And that struck home with me. But y'all know I'm going to carry the kitchen sink and the refrigerator and all of the stuff under the bathroom sink kind of girl in my bag. So I'm going to see how well I do with Layla, because I am loving the color. And this purchase is going to help me to really figure out whether I'm going to keep the pebble grain version of this bag in bone with the Sierra trim on my wish list, or whether I can rule it out, because if the nylon lightweight version doesn't work for me, then it doesn't make sense for me to even keep the pebbled version on my wish list. But let's take a look again really quick so that you can compare. We're going to do Dooney's nylons first, side by side. Then we'll do Henri Bendel's, and then ultimately compare Layla's nylon to that of Tory Burch. And I've got bag stuff, and let me, because I'm not sure if that's picking up on camera right now on the edges or not. So let me get that out of the way. And I don't have my chat up on the screen, so let me just look really quick. All right, so Phenomenal Personality, hey girl. All right, let's see. Yeah, Dooney's setup it's grown. Hi Kia, happy Sunday. It's one of those that I don't know. All right. So most, if not all of us here are here because we've got, you know, a long relationship, or at least a committed relationship with Dooney. Or at one point it was exclusive. My relationship with Peter used to be exclusive. And then I started venturing out, right? Specifically called it exploring other brands. You can literally follow my channel and see when I started to explore other brands. And I realized that there are some things that I don't know whether it's better, but it's perceived by me to be better because it's my preference, it's my style. An example, I believe that Dooney's coated cotton, coated canvas, is better than anything boutique or retail that Coach does in the same area. There, I said it yet again. There is absolutely no comparison. The only other coated canvas that I think gives Dooney a run, a whole run for its money, is MCM's old coated canvas, the 10 ply, like before this new lightweight makeover that they did, because that, in my opinion, is absolute trash. It is thin and you can see the light through it depending on the color. So I'm not a fan of that one. But the one that they replaced would give Dooney a run for its money because that coated canvas, a lot of people mistake it for being leather. It's a really good one. The new one, not so much. But sometimes you don't know that you have a preference or that you like something until that brand changes it up, or you venture out and start exploring and see how other brands, other companies are doing it. And then you realize the setup, the pocket, the strap drop, the materials, the whatever you want to call it, that then becomes better because it's your preference. It's preferred over whatever the other brand is offering. So here we go. This is Dooney to Dooney nylon. This is heavier. This is thicker. This is thick, but it's not as thick as this. It's also, this is not as structured as this. I think this, though, takes color better. Can you see? Y'all, I'm giving this a hard time, but I feel like this is my chance to, there it almost looks like this could be the sweater in your closet that gets like the little wintertime sweater peels on it. It looks like it could be that. It's just got that matte kind of, it's almost like high school gym bag. Does that make sense? Like it could pick up and peel, like you'd have to shave like the little balls off of it. That's the vibe that this nylon gives me, which is why it's not a preference. Picked it up because of the color and because I am trying to decide if the pebble grain Layla stays on my wish list. All right, let's go back now that I've, all right, here we go. All right. Let's see here. I don't know if you can see the difference between them when they're side by side. All right, but there's that one. All right, so now OG Dooney nylon. Let's see. Yeah, Rosalind, I'm the same way. I'm going to beat up a nylon bag. And my sister beat up her nylon bag. But I also feel like there's a difference between the different versions of Dooney's nylon. And I have an appreciation. I don't want this to be taken out of context. I have an appreciation that the brand can vary one material to the point that it takes on different characteristics. They're all durable, they're all fun. It just allows you to have a little bit of a different preference, right? All weather leather and pebbled leather and Florentine leather and smooth pebbled leather, they all give you different options, but they're all leather. So it's interesting to me that Dooney has been able to do the same thing with a textile. You hear that? That texture that you're hearing is this. Okay, now listen to the depth of this sound versus this one, okay? Listen. textured, thicker, hardier. You hear the echo. Smoother, softer, lightweight. Doesn't have as much bass in the scratch. All right, let's take a look at these side by side. Again, okay, right there. Can you see the difference in the light hitting the black and white HB versus the light that's hitting the cranberry, and the fact that it still looks matte side by side under the exact same lighting? I don't care how I move it, it's not gonna pick up a shine. It's okay. So you know, like xenon headlights in a vehicle, or pixels on TV, or maybe you're watching something on TV and maybe the camera isn't as high quality as it should be, and you can see a computer screen and it looks like it's got a privacy filter, like you can see the waves, or the screen just doesn't quite look as crisp. That's this. This to me is not HD. This is not high definition, crystal clear clarity. This is like 720 versus 1080, or 4K HD. There's just a difference between the finishes. All right, so let me have that. Let me switch them up again, because I think I had that one on the other side. All right, and then the reason that I pulled out nylon, right, was because I wanted to test it against the Tory Burch to see what my preference was, and I want to see how it compares. Let me check this hardware. Okay, Tory's hardware is good. It's good. It's better than Coach. Better than Coach. But it still doesn't have the same sound as a Dooney snap. Let's do the sound on these again. Take a listen. All right. It's got some pull, but it's not Dooney's hardware. Take a listen at this. Keeping in mind, it's got a little, it's a little thicker on the hardware, but can't get it lined back up. This hardware is second to none. Second to none. And I don't care what scale you put hardware on. And I know some of y'all are going to be fighting mad. That's okay. We can thriller it up outside. It's Halloween. But Coach has a lot to learn about hardware. I know there are some huge fans of glove tan leather and their pebbled leather and picker leather and go with the leather, but I have yet to have a bag from Coach that I feel straight up is better than the hardware on any one of my Dooney bags. And Dooney has at times experimented with hardware finishes, hardware sizes. There was a period in time, some of you may be so new to collecting the brand that you may not even know this, but there was a point in time in the 90s where Dooney was going through a bit of an identity crisis. Michael Kors was like kicking butt. And this was when I think every bag that Michael Kors was releasing, small, medium, large, maybe even some of their travel bags, everything had like chains on it. Chains on the strap, chain detail, chains on the bottom of the bag, top of the strap was leather, and then they'd reverse it. Like everything had chains. And I purchased a bag from Dooney during that time that had chains on the strap and leather. It was so Michael Kors like that it was not even funny. But even that hardware was trash. I'm just gonna say it. I've got that bag is I think in the basement. Yep, it's in the basement. Probably should be sent off for repair, but I wouldn't waste my money trying to get them to fix it. If anything, I'll send it in for trade value. They were going through an identity crisis, and that hardware was absolute trash. I think they learned their lesson then because they have not had any more relapses as it relates to bad hardware. Now, they had when the logo lock that I absolutely abhor. I cannot stand the logo lock. It has gone from, one-sided to two-sided to the colored enamel to Dooney and Burke to the duck. They've modified it, but that clasp has kind of stayed the same. I also think that clasp is trash because I see tons of bags and hear see all kinds of ways that clasp breaks on the logo lock. I've even given my mom a brand new bag, and within the first 9 months of carry, that clasp on the logo lock breaks. I'm not a fan of it. It's awkward. I don't think they use that clasp very well. It's just not. It's not their best work. It's not their best work. But I do know that clasp is extremely popular, particularly in the Dooney community. There are a lot of logo lock lovers. And I would be lying if I told you I don't have logo locks here. I do. I've got them in my Pembroke collection. I have them on my Florentine Amelia. I've got it on that Hattie with the stupid strap that I had to DIY with E6000 to keep it from coming out. I have that lock, including on logo locks. But it doesn't keep me from saying that it's stupid and it doesn't work. And I don't think that the quality of the logo lock is very good. Not compared to Dooney's snaps, not compared to Dooney's zippers, not compared to the lobster claws, and pick any other closure that Dooney has done on a bag. I'm just saying, the sound of Dooney's logo is like bass if you're thinking about music, and every other brand is struggling just to be soft treble. I don't know. All right, but here we go. Second to none with their hardware, and here we go. Side by side, can you see that this is matte compared to this? It may be a little bit easier to see because on Dooney with the floral print nylon bag, you may just be seeing the flower. You may not be able to actually take in all the sheen, but hopefully you'll be able to capture that here. Lucinda, all I will tell you is Hattie traumatized me. And I know you know this story. I know you heard it. Hattie traumatized me. She was almost a casualty in the state of Texas, no less. I know you're not there anymore, but Hattie almost suffered a fatal accident in Texas. And had it not been for my cat like Halloween reflexes, she would be destroyed. That gorgeous boned Florentine would have been lost to the parking lot oil gods forever if I had not been able to catch that strap as the lobster class, the logo lock, released and let that strap go. And it was only because I was well outside of my return period that I decided I was going to pick which side of that stinking logo lock that I was going to live with on those two Hattie bags that I purchased, and E6000 to the rescue. If you want those out, either the E6000 is going to have to give up the ghost, or you're going to have to cut that bad boy off, because my handbag soul couldn't, I don't know if it could have taken that. So good luck with it. I will tell you that as you carry that bag and as the leather softens and it stretches, it will create just a little bit of space for that strap to slide out of that little loop on the side. That's all I'm saying. Carry your bags. Hold on to your straps. Because that was scary. So me and one of my tribe sisters, we had an E6000 party. She pulled out her large Hattie. I transported my Hattie across town. Y'all remember the video? And we E6000 straps in her kitchen on the counter to make sure that both of our bags were safe. Now, that's not to say that that leather isn't going to continue to stretch on the side, because it is, in essence, the hardware, and the more you wear, and I mean, leather's going to stretch, yada, yada, yada. But unless E6000 stops doing what it's supposed to do for the surfaces that it's connected to, I don't have to worry about that one anymore. Be careful with your Hatties, because they have that ridiculous logo lock, which is pointless. There's no reason that strap needed a logo lock on the side. You can't adjust it. You can't twirl it because it's got an O-ring on the other side. It is an absolutely gorgeous bag. All of the sizes. I mean, Dooney, I think they knocked the styling and the leather options and the size of that bag out of the park. Like, they had a size for everybody, whether you were like a mini, nano bag carrier, the small, the mini, the medium, the large. They had a size for everyone, but they absolutely destroyed that perfection with that closure. That bag would have been perfectly fine with 2 O-rings and a regular strap, or even better, with all of that Florentine leather, if they had taken that hobo-ish style equestrian strap that we all love, that has a little bit of adjustment, but that it perfectly sits on the shoulder and you don't have to worry about adjusting it because it just lays and holds onto your shoulder the way it's supposed to. If they had done that in Florentine so that everybody could have adjusted it based on arm size, preference on where you want your bucket bag to fall, that would have been perfection. If they had put just the plain strap on that bag that they have on, oh my goodness, what is the bag? Not Russell bags, straps. They don't need to put those straps on anything else ever again. But the strap on, I can see the strap, but I cannot think of the name of the bag. Cassidy. The strap that's on Cassidy, which is basically the strap that's on Hattie minus the logo lock. That would have been perfect as well. Other strap options they could have put on Hattie to make Hattie work. Oh, how about the Dooney and Burke branded leather strap that we all have been waiting, hoping, praying that they were going to release separately, right? Y'all remember that one where most people bought the bag, whether it was from Dooney or QVC, and then sold the bag or put a different strap on it because everybody just wanted the Dooney and Burke guitar strap. That one on Hattie and Florentine would have been perfect. Would have been absolutely perfect. But I don't know whether why it didn't need, that bag did not need another style element. And they messed it up when they put it on there. They absolutely messed it up and made it be a bag that you have to question whether or not it's safe to carry. Y'all, I was literally walking through the parking lot, had eaten lunch with some coworkers, getting back in the car in Texas, and felt something slip and just grabbed. And it was my bag, and the strap had come loose. And do you know how embarrassing it is to have nearly a $500 bag on your shoulder, because that's the retail value. I think that bag retails for like, what is it, $498, $458, $498, and your coworker look at you and say, "Did your strap just break?" No, but I want to break Peter's neck because this should not have happened. It should not have happened. All that Florentine, you should never ever be worried about the strap. And I had to tell her, nope, it didn't break. It just slid out. And I'm thinking to myself, it's still embarrassing all the same, because that should not happen with that bag. All right, y'all, this turned into a sip and cuss. We were only supposed to be talking about nylon and whether or not Tory Burch makes the cut. And I will say that for a lightweight toss and go, on the go bag, weekend bag, diaper bag, I think it works. It's lightweight, it's easy, tons of different options. It has the sheen that I really like from nylon. It has a good shoulder drop. The interior organization for me leaves much to be desired. I do wish that the hardware seems to be okay, but it's not Dooney's hardware. It's not MCM Clara hobo hardware like with the Napa leather. It's not that quality, but it's better than Coach and maybe on par with Michael Kors. I don't know. Tell me, what do you think in the comments? I kind of have mixed feelings. I do have, before y'all know I'll talk smack about, I do have Michael Kors in my collection. But I will also say that I have not always had favorable Michael Kors experiences. And I'm just going to sit that right there. That may end up being a topic for another live. But I have some Michael Kors bags, and I also have at least one, if not more, Dooney bags that are suffering from an identity crisis where they were trying to be or compete with Michael Kors, which was an epic fail. Absolute fail. But that's it. We've been on now for over an hour. Over an hour. I have, it sounds like, successfully avoided the trick or treaters. My porch light is off, although that doesn't make me feel good, but it is keeping people from ringing my doorbell. So we're going to count that as a win. I'm going to go and grab dinner, call and check on my mother, and finish my last load of laundry before I call it a night. So I thank you so very much for spending your Halloween 2021 with me. It has been my pleasure to discuss handbags with you tonight and the scary truths and differences between the different nylons and hardware. Lucinda, I do hope that Hattie does not give you a heart attack when you were carrying her. Ladies, please hit the thumbs up before you head out. Thank you so very much for joining. Be safe this week, and until next time, I do hope you find something that feeds your addiction. Take care.